So over the last few years, Justin Sun has emerged as the most unlikely player in the contemporary art world. We all know him as that guy who bought and ate the $6 million banana last year, but who is he and what are his motivations in art? I wanted to dig deeper, and boy is it one bizarre story. Chapter 1, Justin Sun. So he is a crypto entrepreneur born in China in 1990. I mean, it's estimated that he holds almost $2 billion in assets. He joined the crypto scene in 2013, which was only a few years after someone bought those pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin, which were then worth $40, and now it's worth $1 billion. That pizza guy is a hero. It was also the same year that Silk Road was shut down by the FBI. You know, back when crypto was a niche hobby and just used to buy drugs and assassinations. So Justin founded his own crypto platform called TRON in 2017, and he launched a coin called TRX. TRON is a blockchain technology that just works in the same way as Ethereum or Bitcoin. It currently has a market cap of $19 billion, which is the same size as companies like HP, Zoom, and Pernod Ricard. Back in 2017, Justin raised $70 million from an initial offering of the TRX coin. Since then, he has continued to develop and invest in the crypto space. Recently, he invested $30 million in World Liberty Financial, which is a crypto coin associated with President Trump. With his rapidly growing fortunes, Justin made a name for himself by bidding on some pretty crazy and expensive items. In 2019, he placed the winning bid for $5 million to have a private meal with Warren Buffett, the godlike Berkshire Hathaway CEO. He then cancelled that meeting after he attracted some regulatory scrutiny. In 2021, Justin won an auction for $28 million to be the first passenger on Blue Origin's crewed mission into space, but he had to give this up because of scheduling issues. There's so many other things I could talk about here, like Justin serving as Grenada's permanent representative to the World Trade Organization, or him being the prime minister of a micronation called Liberland, which is a video in itself. Oh, and the US Securities and Exchange Commission has charged Justin with fraud and other securities law violations in relation to his TRX coin. The allegations are basically that Justin and his company misled investors by promoting, offering, and selling the coin to the public without registering them as securities. Chapter 2, Beeple. So I'm going to use the term NFT a lot in this video, and I'm assuming a lot of you know what it is, but if you don't, it's just basically a cryptocurrency coin, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, but that has some image linked to it, so it's used a lot for digital art. Justin's first foray into art came in 2021. He announced that he was the underbidder on the record-breaking NFT work by Beeple, which sold for $69 million. The underbidder means that he was the guy who didn't win. It's also not usually public, so you do have to kind of trust him on this. According to a tweet from him, he was outbid in the dying seconds by $250,000. This NFT by Beeple collated 5,000 images he made daily. The auction was effectively for a JPEG file. It was bought by another crypto entrepreneur, Metakovan. As an artwork, it definitely attracted mixed views, but to the bidders, it stood for a lot more. All of them had a shared goal. They wanted to make headlines and convince the world that NFTs and crypto were valuable. And it worked. This Beeple sale kicked off the NFT bull run of 2021. So after missing out on this work, Justin bought another one from Beeple called Oceanfront for $6 million. He said that this use of millions was more important than the lunch he paid for with Mr. Buffett. Justin said that he bought the NFT on behalf of the TRON network as its first foray into the NFT space. He promised an NFT foundation called Just NFT Fund, hiring top-class artists and advisors, working with arts organizations to register world-level artworks and artists as NFTs on-chain. It's a mouthful. I think basically what he was saying was he'd buy art and put it onto the blockchain. Oh, in that same month as he bought this Beeple work, he bought Pablo Picasso's 1932 painting of Marie Therese Walter called Nude Woman Lying with a Collar for $20 million. And he also bought Andy Warhol's 3 self-portraits from 1986 for $2 million, marking the genesis of a pretty bizarre collection. Also in this collection is a Cause painting, which is one of those works that looks like a collectible with the canvas stored behind a plastic blister pack. This cost him almost $300,000. In another random purchase, he bought Giacometti's Lenez sculpture for almost $80 million. We know this because he's now suing the billionaire David Geffen for it. The story is too good to ignore, so I'm going to have a sidebar. Chapter 3, Sidebar, Geffen. So it came out in recent days that Justin is suing David Geffen to have his Giacometti returned. It's called Lenez, meaning the nose, for obvious reasons. It's a subject that Giacometti revisited in numerous sculptures, and they are highly sought after. For some reason, I don't know, maybe I just don't get Giacometti's work. When Justin bought Linez in 2021, he announced that he planned to donate it to the Ape NFT Foundation, a project that focused on investment in NFTs in the art world. But I'll get back to them later. So according to court documents, Justin loaned this sculpture for an important exhibition in Paris. Then it came back and was returned to an art storage facility. Enter Justin's art advisor, who I'll call Sydney. So Sydney told Justin that she had found a buyer for Linez. According to the allegations, before Justin agreed, Sydney had offloaded the work to David Geffen, the guy who founded the movie studio DreamWorks, for 2 other paintings in David's collection, valued at $55 million, and $10 million in cash. So her deal resulted in a near $15 million loss for Justin, at a time when Giacometti's work was increasing in price. However, Justin said that he never agreed for Sydney to sell it. He said that she forged his signature and sent the sculpture to Geffen without his knowledge. Now Justin alleges that the sculpture is proudly shown in Geffen's home. Geffen himself, he just says that Justin has seller's remorse. So it's all a little strange. I mean, Sydney appeared in numerous forums on behalf of Justin and his crypto endeavors. She held herself out to be Justin's art advisor and was the one who launched the Ape NFT marketplace. I'm sure this case will reveal more. The upshot of this story is don't always trust your art advisor. I'm sure the oligarch Dmitry Rybolovlev would tell you the same thing after his saga with Yves Bouvier, but that's a story for another video. Okay, now back to Justin. Chapter 4, The Banana. So you might recall the high-profile auction of The Comedian late last year, the conceptual artwork by Maurizio Cattelan consisting of banana duct taped to a wall. Justin bid and ultimately won the edition for $6 million, including fees at Sotheby's. This is the same work that was available for sale in 2019 for $100,000. Shortly after the purchase, Justin ate the banana at a press conference in what one reporter described as a very strange spectacle. Justin's stunt was not exactly original. 2 versions of the artwork have been eaten before, once by a performance artist at Art Basel, and then by a South Korean art student when it was displayed in Seoul in 2023. The student said that he was hungry. Chapter 5, What's actually going on? There are so many things here that just don't add up. I mean, first, let's just talk about the banana. It was a press stunt, that's it. In fact, most things Justin does is a press stunt. They lean into the viral internet culture. He's running on the belief that media attention to himself will be passed along to the TRON blockchain and the NFT industry. I mean, I guess I'm here making a video about it. But he's also trying to position himself as a pioneer at the forefront of the crypto and NFT revolutions, to cement his legacy as a crypto and art world disruptor. So while his motivations aren't surprising, you really have to wonder if they're achieving their point. If he just wants the glory, then absolutely. But if he's trying to promote the TRON blockchain, NFTs and crypto, then that message is definitely getting lost. I mean, no one was reporting about his banana and linking it to crypto. Further, it's a bit ironic that in order to promote these digital ecosystems, Justin is resorting to participating in the most archaic art world institutions. I mean, Christie's and Sotheby's were founded in the 18th century, and their business has not really changed since then. By buying art from these old institutions, is he really signaling the rise and change that he wants to? And now let's also talk about his art funds. In 2021, Justin appeared to start both the Just NFT fund and Ape NFT, although he says that Ape NFT is owned by his cousin. Despite many press releases about the Just NFT fund, it no longer appears to exist. It doesn't have a website, doesn't have any blockchain identifier, it doesn't seem to hold any art. Meanwhile, Ape NFT has a website and a crypto coin with $500 million of market cap. It also seems to hold all of the artworks that Justin has purchased, including The Comedian, according to their website. Ape NFT is described as an NFT ecosystem that aims to straddle the NFT and fine art sectors. It says that they will register renowned pieces of art as NFTs on the blockchain and support leading NFT artists. It promises transparency and the ability of people to trade in fine art as fractionalized ownership. But none of this makes sense. I mean, let's take the example of the Andy Warhol 3 self-portraits that he bought. Justin said that this was converted into an NFT and sold in June 2021 to launch the NFT marketplace of the crypto exchange Binance. The NFT sold for $2.8 million, but actually Justin is reported as having bought it. So he took a physical painting that he owns, made an NFT of it, auctioned that NFT off, and then bought the NFT back himself, while talking about how exciting and transparent the space is. Fundamentally speaking, his promise of fractionalized ownership of art is possible, and it's an interesting business. Just look at the company Masterworks. But they don't rely on crypto to achieve this. Instead, they set up an individual company to buy a work of art. They sell shares in that company as a proxy for shares in the artwork. Then once the work is sold, they wind up the company and allocate the revenue to the shareholders. This makes sense. There's a company whose only asset is the painting. When the painting is converted into cash, that cash is distributed back to shareholders. Look, I think this model has issues, and I made a video on it before, but at least technically and legally, it makes sense. But what Justin did with the Warhol painting makes no sense. All he did was issue an NFT using a photograph of the painting as a separate asset and sold that back to himself. Now there exists the painting as a physical asset and the NFT as a digital asset, but there's no relationship between the two. At least when Burnt Banksy did this, they burnt the NFT print that they were basing the NFT off, so only one existed at any point in time. There's also the small issue that creating this Warhol NFT is 100% in breach of intellectual property rights. When you buy a painting, you buy the physical item, but that only comes with limited implied rights over the IP in that painting. You as a purchaser do not generally have rights to, for example, take photographs of the painting and stick them on t-shirts and mugs for sale. Using the image of the Warhol in the NFT would not be permissible under IP law, unless they had been assigned copyright in this painting. And the Warhol Foundation is notoriously protective about this. So, despite saying that the intention of Ape NFT is to make the art world transparent, it is anything but. I mean, we don't know who legally owns any of the paintings, whether it's Justin or Tron or Ape NFT. We don't know who owns any of the NFTs that they've made of these. And despite promising to fractionalize it, I mean, even this Warhol only has 3 tokens, all held by the same person, that person being Ape NFT. Justin also implied that they fractionalize shares in other paintings too. But according to the blockchain record for, say, the Picasso that he bought, they haven't done this. So if Justin wants to own fine art, I mean, that's fine. By storing part of his net worth in art, he's hedging against his crypto empire and the financial system. I mean, art is an incredibly reliable store of value. It's almost the complete counterpoint to crypto. It's tangible, it's easy to move, and more importantly, it's easy to hide, and it's discreet. There's no public register of who owns what, very unlike the blockchain ledger. In fact, Justin's motivations for owning art are likely the very opposite to the promises he makes about crypto and NFTs. So it seems kind of predatory to be promoting NFTs and the ecosystem when Justin himself is artificially increasing the value of that system and taking advantages of the benefits of fine art, tangible fine art, that are not available to NFTs and crypto. Let's not forget that he and Metakovan, by bidding up the Beeple to such crazy heights in 2021, started that bull run and then the following crash. NFTs were and remain to be a speculative bubble, and his big spending comes with big financial risk, both for himself and for others who follow him. Chapter 6, I don't know. I mean, look, in spite of all of this, I'm actually a crypto and NFT believer and maximalist. I think there's genuine real-world utility, and it's given an entire subsector of artists, being digital artists, a way to monetize their work and foster creativity. But NFTs do not benefit by having someone like Justin promote and espouse transparency and innovation on the one hand, and then act in the most opaque ways on the other hand. If you want to build an NFT ecosystem, great, do that. If you want to create publicity and draw attention to NFTs, all the better. But buying a banana for $6 million, eating it, donating it to your fund, and saying it's all for crypto is not the way forward. What do you think?